it's Jessica Dibzinski. Thanks for being here with me today. So today I'm going to make another winter themed double page layout. I have 8 pictures here and I want to continue using the Close to My Heart Gnomes for Winter paper collection. I just think it's so fun, and I've definitely been on a kick of the snow themed pictures. So I'm going to work from a pattern from Make It From Your Heart Volume 6. This is pattern number 19, and it does actually call for 9 photos, but I'm going to fill in one of my 3x3 photo wells with something different. I've already gone ahead and cut the pattern paper and the jade colored cardstock according to the directions in the Make It From Your Heart pattern book, and I liked it because it was actually just a couple of 1.5 inch strips, so that seems like a really good way to use up not a whole lot of paper, especially if you have some scraps. Now, this particular layout is built upon a base page that is meant to kind of frame the inner part. And so I decided I'm going to build mine on some sapphire colored cardstock, and only a 1/4 inch of it is going to show as a frame. So I definitely want to take a little bit of time here to gut out the center of my cardstock and save all of that sapphire paper. I'm going to actually end up using it later for some of my title and embellishments. Now, on the other pieces that I already cut, I did use a mini foam blending tool and some brown ink just to edge distress all of the papers, and so I wanted to go ahead and do that to my base pages as well. So I have it all pulled here together, and I did just want to show you on my second Versamat. Many years ago, I had it outdoors with me as I was working on some cards, and it was just kind of sitting on my lap, and it was such a hot summer day that it kind of melted and warped. So just be careful with your Versamats. Definitely don't leave them in the heat or, apply like a heat gun or anything to them, because they will warp a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of figure out the arrangement of all of my pattern papers here. I just cut the number I needed, but I didn't really kind of plan ahead as to, what order I was going to put them into. And there is one of each on each of the 2 pages. So I think I want to spread out the green and maybe start with this fun winter pattern over here to the side, because I kind of want that to show a little bit more. And then my photos do have some green in them, and so that was why I wanted to bring that jade color in. It is one of the featured colors in this in this paper pack, and I wanted to spread it out. And I just used the dark side and the light side of jade. So not a big significant difference, but 2 different colored greens there. And then I like having that dark blue sapphire snowflake pattern in the center, because I feel like it kind of balances out the darker greens. And so I think this is going to be the way it goes. I'm just going to dry fit my photos here. I don't have anything glued down at this point, but just to kind of get a feel for which photos are going to go where. This one, my son is kind of looking over towards the left, so I want to put it on the far right so he's looking into the inside part of the layout. And then I really just have like a series of photos of my daughters going down the snow in the sled. And so I'm trying to kind of keep them in somewhat of a, beginning to end kind of order, even though they're all not right next to each other. And then for that empty 3x3 photo well that I didn't have another picture for, I thought that would be a good place just to kind of have maybe like an embellishment of some sort. And when I looked over at the sticker sheet, I was so excited by this cute little gnome sticker, and it fits that spot perfectly. So I'm going to kind of make that my last little 3x3 spot. And I do kind of play around a bit with where things are going to go, but I'm pretty happy with this design right here. So I'll go ahead and start gluing everything down. I know I say this in every video, but honestly, guys, I cannot live without my T-square and my Versamat. So this for me is just kind of so helpful to make sure that I get everything down straight. And I'm just kind of following the pattern. Now, what I realized right about here when I went to put my second strip down is that I actually didn't follow the directions very well. I only looked at my first measurements when I was cutting my paper, and then I cut all the other strips to the same length. But actually, these strips are meant to be different lengths, and that's kind of what I realized here with this green one. So I went back and kind of wrote myself a little note in the order that my papers go in, so I could kind of see which ones do I need to trim a little 1/2 inch off. And I think it's going to be okay because either the correct length or I just need to take a 1/2 inch off of them. There is one though, this striped piece right here is actually supposed to be a 1/2 inch longer. So at this point, I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and glue the other pieces down. I'm not going to glue that striped one down yet because I have an idea and I want to see if it's going to work. So I'm just kind of holding it in place while I'm putting those last two down to make sure that I have them spaced correctly. Then I'll go ahead and pull that one off, and I'm going to bring in my pictures because I'm thinking that if this one falls in such a way that when the pictures are down that there's a break and the picture kind of completely covers it, then I can just cut it and then kind of cheat the length that it's supposed to be. But as I lay them down, I realized right away that nope, there's going to be that gap right there, and you can see that strip all the way down the page. So that trick is not going to work, but you know what? That's fine. So it's a 1/2 inch short. Life is going to go on. I'm just going to go ahead and glue it down and kind of split the difference there between the sapphire and kind of make it even on the top and the bottom. And we're just going to make it work. It's fine. If I hadn't noticed it, I think honestly it wouldn't even really be that noticeable. It's just a 1/2 inch shorter than it's supposed to be, but it's really not a big deal. So I went ahead and put the left side page together as well. I've got all of my photos glued down. And then there's this sticker on the sticker sheet that says snow day, and I really wanted to use it because this was actually a snow day for us. And it was kind of crazy because it was in the middle of November and we don't usually have snow days that early. But the sticker really just kind of blended in too much. A lot of busyness going on with these pattern papers. So we went ahead and cut a couple of sapphire circles, and then I used some white glitter paper and I cut a circle with that as well. And then I used my simple serif uppercase letter. I just did one because I didn't want to go through all of my white glitter paper if I wasn't going to like this. I just did one to test it out. And I think what I'm going to do is use a slightly larger circle underneath, and then I'll cut the circle with my die cut here out of the glitter paper, and then I'll cut the letters out of the center. I could have just done, the letters in blue cardstock and layered it over the top, but I kind of wanted it to have that look of how it was peeking out from underneath. So I've gone ahead and cut all of the things, and now I just need to put my letters on there. So I've got my S and my N. And then I thought, it might be kind of fun that instead of doing a traditional O, what if I used one of my snowflake thin cuts and let that be the O? So I want to kind of look at it first again before I waste any of that glitter paper and screw anything up. And yes, I think I'm going to like that. While I was at it, I thought I'm going to go ahead and cut some more snowflakes out of that same white glitter paper that I can use as embellishments around my page. And then I'll use some liquid glue, especially because I have all of those little tiny corners and peaks and things like that behind the letters to glue those onto that sapphire circle base. So that ends up looking really cute. And I like the snowflake for the letter O. Okay, so it did end up being a little bit bigger than I kind of wanted it to be. And so I just spent a little bit of time playing with how to make it work. I'm okay with covering the bottom corner of that one photo, but I wasn't sure, did I want my circles to be straight? Did I want them to kind of be, a little bit wonky and playful? I end up doing it this way where I have two of them slightly higher and the other one's a little bit lower. And then since I'd already cut those other sapphire circles in a slightly smaller size and I didn't end up using them for the title, I thought they would be fun to kind of use underneath those snowflakes. Just because, again, these papers are beautiful, but it does end up being a little bit busy by the time you have all of those strips on there. And I thought that if I didn't, put something underneath those snowflakes, that they might get a little bit lost. So I did layer the bigger snowflakes over top of the circles. And then the smaller snowflake, I'm just kind of letting it be on its own. So this way now, and I don't know, I wasn't sure what to do with my last little snowflake. I end up not leaving it there. I thought, I've got my title has all that glitter and then two other points for the glitter. I think that'll be good enough for a visual triangle. I'm going to pop up the S and the O with a little bit of thin 3D foam tape just to kind of help make that a little bit more playful. And then I'm going to go ahead and put back this star that goes in the center of that snowflake. I saved that one that cut out. and I'm going to glue that back into the center of my O. And then I had these other little pop-outs here from this snowflake, and they came out as diamonds. And so I saved those too because I thought that might be kind of fun to add a little bit of sparkle up in that one cluster. I didn't end up liking it once I was done, but I'd already glued them down, so we're just going to let that one be. All right, I did want my title to say Snow Day, so I went into my Cricut, and I believe I was using the Flower Market cartridge from Close to My Heart. There was a little sentiment on there that said today, so I just kind of, did a little Cricut magic and sliced and cut the 2 part off, but I couldn't quite get it just so I'm going to have to use my scissors and just trim a tiny little bump off of the letter D. But it came out pretty close, and I cut it 3 times so that I can glue them all together and stack them up. So I did just recently make another layout with the same paper collection. I will link it at the end of this video if you haven't already seen it. But like I said, I've just kind of been on a kick of doing some of these winter themed layouts. I live in Michigan, and sometimes we don't get a snow day before we get to Christmas break. I'm a teacher, and teachers love snow days just like kids do. And I'm not sure that we're going to have one between now and Christmas break. And so I would always love to have a snow day. So I thought maybe I'll just keep doing some of these snow layouts and kind of put that out in the universe and create some good vibes. So that's what I've been doing, and just kind of having a whole lot of fun playing with these Gnomes for Winter papers as well. But I like all the sparkle and that white glitter paper. And yeah, this was a fun snow day. And like I said, a couple of years ago, it was the middle of November, super early and unexpected, and a lot of snow that doesn't normally happen. But here you can see a couple of close-ups of my layout. Thank you so much for watching with me today. I hope you've been inspired and had a little bit of fun. I will leave links to the products that are available in the description box down below. I really appreciate your comments and your likes. It just always puts a smile on my face, and I love reading those. So please feel free to leave one down below. All right, guys, have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Happy crafting. Bye.